I'm going to sum this movie up in 3 words. Grand, epic, trash. Let's jump into Napoleon.
Somebody was a hero.
Man, I gotta say, this movie was kind of hard to follow. Maybe not in the body of it, but at the beginning of it, unless you know history, this movie was a tad bit hard to follow, at least for me, and I'm not a fan of Napoleon. He's not a character that I've ever been enamored with. So it was kind of disappointing to find myself a little lost. However, it did get better as the movie progressed. You were able to fall into the story. You were able to follow along. I'm going to let you guys know right now, I'm not going to hold you hostage with this review this time. This is going to be really quick because as you can tell, I did not like this film. And I'm about to let you know why I believe it was trash. Now, I know all the big name reviewers on YouTube are going to probably say, I've been watching them long enough. They're probably going to say, oh man, this movie was great. Oh man, y'all got to see it. It was so grand. It was so epic. Oh man, let me tell you the best thing about this movie was when they loaded those cannons with those cannonballs and were hitting horses and hitting people, and you saw blood everywhere and dismemberment was going on. Yeah, that was the best part about this film. Other than that, there was absolutely nothing here to grasp onto. There were scenes just thrown in for the sake of extending the runtime to over 2.5 hours for a movie that I assure you could have been less than 2 hours. It was just absolutely ridiculous. I've seen bad movies. I am honest. I let you guys know when there's a bad film, but I don't think that I have ever been angry while sitting in a movie. Although I do have the unlimited subscription, and I suggest you guys go do the same thing, I still felt like I can't get my time back. I could have been playing 2K, the new Naruto versus Boruto. I could have been watching C-SPAN. More entertaining watching Congress argue about silly-ish. Anyway, enough of ragging on the movie. Let me tell you guys what the movie was about. Of course, it was about Napoleon the Conqueror, or Napoleon the Emperor, or Napoleon the not king, but he was a king. Whatever you want to call him, it was about the short little guy with the Napoleon complex. That's what this movie was about. And it actually gave you a personal dive into his life. It gave you the warring between he and his first wife, at least. It didn't really delve into the second wife so much, but the first wife at least, and the fact that she couldn't bear him an heir. So you did get that sentimental side. You saw a bit of the insecurities, I would say, that he has. You saw the complex come into play. You saw the empowerment come into play. There was a lot there. However, they kind of failed to really convey it like I felt they could have. Don't get me wrong, I believe that Joaquin Phoenix is a phenomenal actor. But how phenomenal can he be when there isn't much subject matter here? And it's crazy because you have an entire history of subject matter. But the writing, it just stinked. It really stinked here, man. I found myself comparing Gladiator to this film. And when I was comparing Gladiator to this film, I was sitting there thinking like, man, wasn't Joaquin Phoenix in this movie? And yes, he was. He was in Gladiator as well. And he did an excellent job in that movie. And I started thinking, why was Gladiator, which they were both directed by Ridley Scott, why was Gladiator so good and this movie is failing so much? They're quite similar. Matter of fact, they're too similar. That may be the problem here. It seemed as if he really approached this movie the same way, and while it worked there, it doesn't necessarily work here. I want you guys to be your own judge. I'm just simply saying wait for it to stream. Don't waste your money on going to the theater to see it. I have no idea who greenlit $200 million for this heaping pile of waste management trash. We keep having people fight about woke culture, and we keep having people fight about movies are being too black and too integrated, and then we get some white trash. Oh shit. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean it that way. However, I'm gonna leave that shit in there. And it's really sad because, again, the movie could have been good, but maybe Napoleon just isn't a good enough character to talk about for 2.5 hours. When you really think about it, what did he do outside of what they usually do? Go out there and try to conquer the world. There's nothing here. There's no drug abuse. They try to act like there was no domestic abuse, but I know that's probably a lie. With a complex like that, I know he was beating the crap out of his wife. There's no inner family play such as like where you got the kings and queens, or somebody's trying to backbite somebody and stab them in the back, and I want your throne. There's none of that here. I am so disappointed. I am so mad. But it was actually interesting. Hey, that is some bipolar shit right there, ain't it? I now want to know a little bit about Napoleon. It shouldn't have took $200 million to make me want to know about Napoleon, but it was actually interesting in that aspect. Just wasn't a good movie. So, in essence, man, if you like grand adventures, then this movie is for you. You like those epic tales, this movie is for you. If you do not like those type of movies that are kind of long and drawn out and on such a grand scale, this isn't for you. Even if you're into action, I'm going to tell you that this movie isn't for you, because while the action is extremely, extremely good, do not get me wrong here when I say this. While the action is extremely good, it is far and few in between, if I'm saying that right. You have 40-minute stretches, 40-minute stretches of drama and 10-minute grand scale battles. So if you're an action fan, don't think that this is gonna feed that animal, feed that beast, so to speak. So as always, man, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to everybody for what I said earlier. I didn't mean it that way, but hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and again, my bad.